At first, I never like really knew much about it until my mom told me that she was a carrier for a genetic illness, and so being a carrier means that there are a possible chance that it will be passed down to your descendants.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to our channel. Today we have another PS series for you guys. I'm Finola.
I'm Tina.
And I'm Kalina.
And just to remind you guys, the purpose of the People series is to have conversations about different personal experiences throughout different people's lives. And today we have Chamee here today with us. Thank you for coming and joining us today. Can you just share some fun facts or a fun fact and some hopes or dreams that you have?
Okay, a fun fact about me is that I really like dogs. However, I don't have a pet dogs. But based on what my parents told me, they said we used to have a dog when I was really little. So I wish I had memories from them, but I don't. So it's kind of sad, but I'm hoping that in the future I could get a dog.
What kind of dog? Sorry.
I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about like their breeds and stuff, but I do know that I want to get a dog if I have the chance in the future.
A big
Um,
dog
a
or
lot
a
of
small
work.
dog?
And then for hopes and dream, I think at the moment, I'm currently in college, of course, and so I think after college, I want to apply to a PhD program, mainly in like maybe biomedical research or maybe genetics, because I find those really interesting since it really relates a lot to my family, and so yeah, so I guess that's my hope and dream for the near future. So yeah.
Wow,
That's cool.
a genetic, so like just like a person researching like
Mhm.
or about like genes and all that stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then like biomedical research, kind of like disease and illnesses. So like I want to focus on like genetic illnesses. So,
Oh, wow.
I'm hoping to become a scientist, I guess. A researcher and scientist. Hopefully that works out.
I'm sure it will.
So you said you're doing genetics because of it relates to your family. Can you share, if you're comfortable, about like how it's related to your family?
Yeah, so like at first I never like really knew much about it until my mom told me that she was a carrier for a genetic illness, and so being a carrier means that there are a possible chance that it will be passed down to your descendants, and so right now I have two younger brothers who have a genetic illness, and so I haven't got tested yet, but I do want to do that in the future to see if I myself is a carrier. And so I guess like that kind of like really brought the interest into me is like about like just genetics being something that is passed on. And so like not only that, but like what are some effects that can uh I guess like what are some environmental effects that do affect like how the genetics is being passed on or so. So like I don't know if you guys know, but like in some textbook and stuff, or like just in the science field, they said that the environment does play a role. And so I wonder like being in like different locations, like does that affect the genetics and like how is that being passed down in like these diseases? And so I'm hoping to like apply that sometime in the future with the research that I want to do. And then like just talking to a lot of people and like just and like their experiences, like it kind of like grew on to me about like just like also putting a focus into like Asian communities, because like I don't know about like other Asians, but like I believe in the Hmong culture, like they're not really like big believers and like they're pretty like conservatives in a way, and so I think like that's something that can be changed in the future. And so by like having that effect of like bringing in science to the Hmong community or like just to my own community, I guess like that I feel like that would be really helpful, especially since like there could be some illnesses that are specifically targeted to like a group of people. And so I want to see like if there are any that's like that in like the Hmong community or like the Asian communities in general. So yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if that answers the questions, but
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it did.
oh my
I did not
gosh.
know the environment had a big impact on genetics. Wow.
Mm,
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. I mean, it kind of makes sense too. Like if you think about it too, like it's like because you know how like Hmong people they're like were mainly lived in like the mountains, and so then like what they eat and like what they produce there is like how like just living there is different from like when we live here, because like a lot of like Hmong people are like lactose intolerant. I think that might be like just because of the different. I'm not like don't quote me or anything, but yeah, just like the difference in that like maybe it's because like we our ancestors like lived in the mountains. I don't know. You know, maybe that kind of thing.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's so cool though.
That's really
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah. I think that's like great that like you're going into like that kind of field too, because I don't think like not many Asian or Hmong specifically like would probably go into such a specific field like that, which is pretty awesome.
Do you like? I know it may be like far fetched into the future, but do you like kind of know where you want to do your PhD program? I mean, first you had to, yeah.
So right now I'm doing research on like different programs, but because of like classes and stuff, I haven't gotten like too focused on that yet. But I know that I should soon. Right now one program I'm really interested is the University of Minnesota Twin Cities PhD program in biomedical science, and like also it's a big name, but it does like it does have like genetics in there too, and so I guess like something really special about this program is that like they let you do like clinical rotations. I also got to talk to like uh, I also met with like the chair, I believe, of the program, and so he did mention that like they do rotations where you like switch off into different specialties, just for you to like do more exploration, and so if I get into a program like that, and if I find something like other than biomedical science or like genetics that I may be more interested in, it might change in the future because I'm still exploring. Um, and then like one program that I'm hoping to look into in the future is some out of state programs, because like I want to see how does it feel like to like be off in like it's a different location from where I basically raised up in. And so and like in Minnesota it is pretty nice. So like the healthcare system, like I think like we do have like a better healthcare system compared to some of the states. But I'm not sure about like uh I guess like research and stuff, because I know that like, research is like important in like the east and the west coast. So I'm thinking of looking into like some programs over there.
Wow.
Talking about because you mentioned out of state, but then it made me think about for some reason like your China trip. Can you talk about
Oh,
like your China trip with your college that you went on, and like just your
so
experience of going abroad to China?
yeah, I think like that really did bring a big effect into like what I'm thinking right now. Because like traveling to China and Japan for like just the duration of 1 month already like give me a lot of different views, and so that's why like now I'm more open to like wanting to try as like even out of state programs. I think one of the biggest effect in China and Japan that really like changed my mind is like the like kind of like the lifestyle that I've observed from like people just walking around, and then also like traveling during the time of COVID-19, towards like especially the beginning of it. Like at first, like just being in those two countries, like I never really thought about it, and then once our professor brought like the situation into like our mind, like we started having conversations about it. And so just like having people traveling, and then also having like those diseases being transmitted to like even different locations, even like that kind of brings us back to like environmental effect and stuff. So I guess like that kind of like really focus, like that kind of like makes me want to focus on like some environmental facts like in research, and then just like being able to see that like where like usually I'm more like the minority because like in America we're like pretty diverse, but like with population the Asian community is like not as like big, but then going to like China and Japan, it's like everyone that I see around me are like Asians, and so I guess like that really does like affect the, like me wanting to like do some more research on like Asian populations, and then like just like by just searching through like research papers and articles, like you still see like Asian researchers like publishing their own works, and so I feel like I find that really like admiring, so I want to like be able to like publish something in the future with my own name and like show that like I'm American, I'm a woman, especially a woman in STEM, like because the like the stats is like rising up too, and so yeah, like being like just being able to like bring diversity into like the fields and like being able to consider like different kind of groups and factors into it is something that I hope I can bring into the STEM field. So yeah, but like yeah, the travel like really makes me think about like those um factors, and so yeah, like I think the trip like really did like give me that view, because before I just like, oh, I just want to go into research, I'm done, but now like having that those like experience, like it kind of brings me more and like it kind of narrows it down to me, so I guess like that was really helpful.
Wow.
Yeah, if you want to write something, go to Kalina. If you want a movie, you can come to me.
Girl, that's like so cool though, because definitely one day, like if like you ever do get to like
Oh,
search,
she's
like
lagging.
other young people will be able. Oh, am I lagging?
Yeah, you were lagging.
Anyway, where did I stop? But anyway, yeah, like it's I think it's cool because then like other young people will kind of like look at your research for reference too. You're gonna go do a lot.
I'm hoping for that.
Girl,
The
just
thing
keep
is,
doing
I'm
it.
just like, am I smart enough for that? Because like,
Girl,
Yes,
I mean,
you
like,
are.
I feel like we are in college, and like imposter syndrome is like everywhere. So
So then will you be in school like after you're done with your 4 years? You're gonna go to the program
if I get in, like, because
okay.
yeah, but like my plan is like if I do get into a program, I want to start right after college.
Okay.
Because like I feel like it'll be good to get some experience, but I feel like by the time like if I want to like just dive right into it, I should just go straight into the studies and like get those done. Of course, like science is like ever evolving, and so you're gonna have to like go back and like go back and go back to just like become more updated with like the news and stuff. But like to be able to have like a good like foundation is something that I'm like, it's one of the things that I prioritize and I really want to focus on, is like having a good foundation before I really attack into the reality of it. That sounds weird, but
So then you're probably going to school for like 6 more years then, or
probably, yeah.
oh my goodness,
I know.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just thinking about it. Thinking about it.
It's okay, Chamee,
Yeah.
you got this. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
I want to ask, because like you've had like Chinese food here in the US, and you've also had like real authentic Chinese food. So just comparing the two, like is it? I'm sure it's probably like better. Authentic Chinese food is better, but like in your opinion, like how do you compare the two?
Well, like the thing is, like I couldn't really compare because like the Chinese food here and then the ones over there, like especially the one that I had over there is like totally different. It's like the ones that are over here are non-existent over there.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I couldn't find any similarities.
So like you basically like had like new dishes that you tried it when you were in China. Oh
yeah, because
wow.
like while we here like in Shanghai, we also were thinking about like how to use the money wisely too, because we were like on like a tight budget as well. And so because of that, like we tried to like, I guess like it was a good experience. Like we tried the local food more than like the like I guess like the food and like I guess like food and like shopping malls. But like sometimes like when we're like really hungry, we just try to find like a local store, like a family run store, and like just eat there. And like I gotta say, it's amazing still. I feel
Yeah.
like, and like we had like a lot of like soup based food, so it's in noodles. But like I think one taste that I will never forget is like the numbing of the tongue. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's like they use like a seasoning. When I try to like eat it and drink the broth, it's like it makes my tongue numb in a way. It feels like it kind of tastes like soy sauce, or it doesn't exactly. And so like I feel like that's a pretty common and like also popular seasoning.
Interesting.
And like I don't know, but like today when I was like just eating food with my mom, she told me about that seasoning. She said like, yeah, you can't buy it in the United States. Like they may be grown here, but like it doesn't taste the same. Like I have to ask your uncle to get it for me. And so I tasted again like just here today, and so I was like, Mom, I think this reminds me of China. And she was like, yeah, that's like the only season that I can't get from here. So that was like really interesting. And then like we also like we were warned not to like we were warned about like street food and stuff.
Mhm.
But I did get to try some street food, and it was pretty good too. So
Yeah.
and like that kind of like makes me think like, how come the United States doesn't do that?
Street
Like have
food?
street food.
Yeah, street
Honestly,
food.
Oh my gosh! I swear.
Dude,
Oh, it'll be
It would
so
be like
good.
street tacos and like corn dogs or hot
That's
dogs,
true.
Yeah.
or like basically like food truck style kind of.
Mhm.
That's what like I
Yeah.
would think would be like street food in the US.
But like for them, like street food is like stalls and like little
Yeah.
like zombie booths and
God.
stuff. Like that's really nice.
So then, what would you say was like your favorite dish that you tried when you were in China?
I think it was like the dumpling. That was something that
Oh.
was really amazing. It's like they put different stuffings into their dumplings, and then like the sauces that they give are also like really different too.
Oh, is
But
that like
I
the
gotta
basic?
say,
It's not like the basic soy sauce.
they had like different kinds of sauce, and so it was like good to like just try the dumplings, different sauce and stuff. I think another one that I really like is their chicken feet. It's really amazing because like it's like once you take a bite, it's really easy to like take a bite of it. It's like, and then once like you just put it into your mouth, it kind of like melts, and so like it's really easy to like sort the meat from the bones. But I really like the chicken feet that they have there. So because like I don't know, like I don't know if you guys eat chicken feet, but like the ones that I have at home is like hard, and so it's hard to eat. But chicken feet was like it was so good over there that I really want to. I miss them a lot, and so yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
you're making me drool.
Are you
Talking
gonna eat
about
chicken feet now?
food.
Oh,
You
Oh
guys
my
should eat some. You guys should get some.
like
know
I
my-
never had chicken feet.
Our mom likes to eat chicken feet. I've tried it like
Yeah.
once or twice.
I've never tried. Like, and even like in Korea too, I remember like they had like one specific restaurant only for like chicken feet. And I was like, wow, like I didn't know like Koreans ate chicken feet too. I mean, I'm pretty sure like they did, but like I didn't like it didn't occur to me because I thought it was like a Hmong thing, you know? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten different things, like, but not chicken feet. But like, I think I ate like pig ears or something in Burma once, and I was like,
Ooh.
oh, this is so good. Like, this is meat. And then later I found out it was pig ears. I was like, oh, okay, I won't eat it anymore.
Yeah, I think like when you think about it, it's like ew, like gross,
Yeah.
you know. But also like for me, I'm like, how do you eat chicken feet? Like, there's no meat.
There
You
is.
know?
It's like
It's like
it's like
skin.
not a lot, but like yeah,
Yeah.
it is like the skin, and so
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but it's good.
It isn't, but that's
But,
why I prefer not to eat chicken feet.
I mean, like, I feel like the ones that my mom made, like, it's kind of like a little bit harder to eat also, and so that's why I don't eat it a lot. But then,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when I went to like China, it was just so good that I didn't even like consider that was chicken feet. I just eat it. So, and like I guess like I would love to learn like how did they make it to be like that. And so, I missed it now. Okay.
So like, would you like ever go back to like the places you've traveled
Um,
again?
I would love to in the future. And then like I was really okay. So like fun fact, I was really curious about the city in China that my parents keep on calling Pantalan, that because they said that that's like really popular for like the Hmong community, and so I keep on wondering like where is that? Like I don't like how do you
Yeah.
translate that from Hmong to English to like Chinese?
Yeah.
And so it
What
took
is
a
it called?
while. Pantalan,
Bang Tolang.
like if you like directly translate it into English, it's like blooming flower and stuff. It's like the
Ah, okay.
land of blooming flower. And so like
Oh,
I was like, where in China is that? And so
yeah.
I asked like my uncle and I asked my aunt, and they said like it was Yunnan. And so I was like, oh, maybe I want to go there sometime in the
Yeah.
future and see like if like the cherry blossoms that are bloomed there are really pretty or not. And so
Wow. Yeah, cherry
yeah.
blossoms are very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool when you go up there. Cause I think I remembered when we went to Vietnam and we went to, I think was it Sapa, where like the Hmong people were, and it was so weird to see like people like tourists dress up in Hmong clothes and like out in the field
Wow.
taking pictures. I was like,
Mhm.
dude.
Just like when we were in Thailand, right? And we were in that little
Yeah.
I forgot where we were, but then we had monk clothes on, and they had like because they had like really nice flower gardens, so that's why we wore the monk clothes and took pictures. But it was probably something like that too, which is like interesting.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a city or place that you went to in China or Japan that you felt like you needed more time to like just look around and stuff?
Mm, I think that'd be in Japan for me, cause like while in Japan, like the expenses were a lot more expensive than in China, cause basically China is pretty cheap with their money currency, and
It's
so
true.
I think like in Japan, like I was really like I was like in the back of my head, I keep on thinking about like, oh, I shouldn't try to use too much money. I want to like last me enough, but then I also want to use like enough money to like be able to get the experience that I want to get. And so I guess like transportation wise, like it's really convenient in both China and Japan, but because like in China, like we get to explore a lot more because of like how cheap transportation was. But then in Japan, like the transportation system was a little bit hard to navigate, and not only that, but it also costs a little bit more. And so we try to avoid going out like too much. And so I wish like that was something that I could have changed, is like going out more and explore more of like the cities too, as well as like the local locations. I got to visit like some temples, and so it was really interesting. But also like because of my religious belief too, it's like it was the atmosphere just didn't feel right with me, and so
Yeah.
like I went to like a Buddhist temple and I went to a Shinto temple as well, and so it was like really interesting. But at the same time, like I keep on having like that uncomfortable vibe around me, and so I was
I
like,
know how
oh,
you feel.
and so like being able to travel there, but like different like students from different backgrounds, like the experience is like really different with each of us, and so and then like throughout the way, just like at the same time we're experiencing as tourists, but not exactly tourists, and then we're traveling as students, but not exactly students, because like our schedule is different from like the regular student schedule, and so it really gives us like a really different like view, and so I think like I want to go back there as like a tourist,
Yeah.
and so it'll be really interesting to see like what are some changes that I am noticing if I go there, but I definitely do want to go back. So yeah.
Like I totally understand how you feel about like visiting like the Buddhist temple because I remember in Korea we were in Busan and we were visiting this famous Buddhist temple and two actually because the first one was a big nice one and the second one that we visit we just happened to like see it along the way and at first I was like, is it wrong for me to like be here?
I know.
But you know, but like it's all just like respecting like people's beliefs and like respecting like the place. because it's kind of like historical too. Because the famous one that we went to, it is pretty historical. A lot of tourists were there, and it was like a very beautiful, like, in a very nice area. It was like very pretty too. So like it's just like well, it's pretty obvious. Like I know where I'm rooted my faith, so then like being there is okay as a tourist, you know. But yeah, I totally understand. At first you're like, oh my gosh, like is this bad for me? But then like I think it's like fine because you're just there in respect of just like being like in awe of just like wow, like this is like a really nice architect of like the building and like the area, you know. So I like totally related to how you feel about that.
Yeah, and then like I think like one thing that I wish I would have done in China was actually to visit their temple because I didn't get to do that. I went more into like the touristy areas, but like they did have like temples in China too, and so I guess like one thing that I couldn't really compare is like how was the temple in China is different from Japan, and so because like in Japan like it looks like they had like a big room dedicated to like prayer, and so and like people were open to do like rituals too, and so that was really interesting. But like because I didn't like see how it was like that in China, it was something that like I couldn't really like find like compare like to compare the two countries.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see what it's like in China as well. So
Yeah. Were the temples in Japan like and like I don't know, do you watch a lot of animes?
I do watch some. Yeah, I do watch some.
Cause like I think when I think of Japan temples, cause they have like usually like those big pillars at the entrance and with the sign. That's how I imagine it to be. So was it like what you imagined to be? I don't know.
I mean, I imagine that too, but like when I experienced it, I was like, where was the entrance and where was the exit? Like it wasn't really like a big thing. Is that so I went to in Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto, Japan, because like we spent like 3 days there, and so we went there because like it looks like it was like a big like throughout that season, there was like a big like it's a touristy place at the same time, but it's also like a religious place too. So like we saw a lot of people there, and so just like that was like I think I keep on going back to that moment. Like I remember the big pillars because I did walk through them too. They had like big pillars as like a road that leads to like the most sacred like part of the shrine, and so and it was really high up because we had to hike. I feel like a hiking trip. I feel like a hiking trip, but not at the same time because like also like to pay respect too. But like it was really nice, but at the same time like the entrance was like so big, and there's probably a lot of different entrances because for us we went through where the train station was at, and so I wasn't sure if that was like the main entrance or it was the side entrance, but it was like down there that a lot of business are like open too, and so they have like souvenir, they have food trucks and food, like basically it's like street food again, and then they also have like shops that like sell I guess like sell some prayer wishes or like good luck charms and stuff. But it was really nice to like just be able to experience that. And then comparing that to like a Buddhist temple, like the entrance was really like right there. It's like they have a doorway to it, and so like I knew that it was the entrance. But like for like the temple, like the Shinto temple, it was like really different from the Buddhist temple. And that was something that I found that was interesting. Another fun fact is like I think there's like shrines around the city to like around neighborhoods because like there was like a time I was walking at night and we just came across like we just bypassed like a shrine, and then I was like, oh, that kind of like I was kind of shocked at it, and like it kind of scared me, especially since it was nighttime and so but yeah, like I think I wouldn't be surprised if like Japan said they had like shrines around like the neighborhood too. So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, like comparing that to like animes, I think I mean like they probably get like some things right, but like I feel like there's something that they didn't like they deliberately didn't put in there because like they probably didn't want to show it or other like reasons and stuff. So
wow.
Do you prefer China or Japan?
oh, that's a hard one actually. I don't know. Like I keep on asking myself this question. Like if I was to go back to like just one of them, like where would I want to go? And then at first I was like, oh, maybe China because like it's a lot cheaper there, and so like, I could like use my money on a lot of things. But then I was like, but at the same time, like I also want to like become like more familiar with like the Japanese culture too, and so like I'm not exactly sure, but if I had the chance to go back to either one of them, I would like to take it. But yeah, preference. I think I prefer China when it comes to like shopping and stuff. But I think I prefer Japan when it comes to food because I feel like my taste like aligns with Japan more. Because
Yeah.
like I feel like they had like their sushi was like good. Like I'm not a big fan of sushi, but like once I went there, it was so good. And like not only that, but they had like sushi. It's like you could eat like the order of sushi for $1, like equivalent to the United States. And so I was like, oh, how shocking! I was like, oh my gosh. So and like it's really good too. Like it's not like the bad
Wow.
quality sushi from where you get from like the stores and stuff, but it's really good. And like I gotta say, convenience store is probably one of like the genius idea. I don't know why the United States doesn't do that.
I know, right?
And like they have like ready-made food that
I know.
yeah can make you full. So
Yes.
yeah, I think I prefer like Japan when it comes to like food, but I prefer China when it comes to like shopping. Probably because like in China we like our location was really close to like a big mall, and so we usually go to the mall a lot. So although we don't buy a lot of things, we go there and like we explore there. We buy a lot of bubble teas, but and like in China, in Japan, like by going to like the stores, I'm just trying different kinds of food. Because like I guess like we like since we live closer to the cities, it was like a lot more like we were able to like find food a lot more faster. Um, but yeah, I guess like they both had their pros and cons for me.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think it'll be hard to choose like a specific spot to like go back because yeah. Wow. When you talked about food, I was like, dang, I want to go and eat their food.
Yeah, I was like, dang, that sounds so good. I want some.
I think we should all travel together one day.
We should honestly.
Just like on a food trip, man.
Mhm.
Okay, so I remembered you mentioned that you're talking about your religious belief. So in currently now, like how have you maintained your faith and just like trying to balance your faith and college life, I guess. Yeah.
I think that's probably like one of the hardest thing for me right now is like to have that balance because like with college like life gets pretty busy basically, and so I feel like I keep on like having this feeling of like feeling like I have neglected my faith a lot, and so but at the same time like I also keep on like in the back of my mind I'm like there are some things that I feel like it's my limit, and then there are some things where I feel like I still need to like keep in me. I guess like when it comes to, like with my faith and stuff, I feel like I haven't really progressed much into that because I've been so busy with like schoolwork and stuff where like I've been making excuses about being busy that I haven't had like the time to like find a time specifically to be with my like to focus on my religious faith. Um, but like I think because like for my college we're basically a religious based one, and so they require us to take some religion class, and so I guess like that is like a way of like just like me focusing on my faith at the same time. It's like throughout those classes like there are some things that I learn, and I guess like the two religions that like I guess that's been like the focus for me throughout like my religious course is Christianity and Judaism, because like I just feel like Christianity is something that like I was like born and raised up in, but like to be able to explore what Judaism is like and like how similar the two religions are, and then like how different they are with each other as well. Like it really gives me like a new perspective, like with just religion and overall. And then for my first year religion course, like that one, like it kind of like covers like a brief like compare and contrast with like different religions from like different areas of the world. And so I guess like just those two classes, like in a way it opens like my view to like different kind of like different religions. But when it comes to like just focusing on my own belief, like I feel like that is still really hard for me to do. And like, I still want to like keep on going and like improving it. But like right now I'm kind of like stuck at like how would I do that? Especially like considering that my schedule is pretty packed. And so and like for this upcoming year, because like, it's my junior year, like there are some things that I need to step on, especially since like if I want to go into like graduate school, I need to have like experiences with like research while in college as well. And so like, I feel like just having like all kinds of like those thoughts in my head, like I feel like there's really not a big space for my religious belief, but then at the same time I'm like I want to create a space for it, but it just like has to see like how my schedule is going to be like, and then where do I have time to do that. So yeah.
I mean, I think like even though you're so busy, it's like still amazing how you want to like find that time for it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's so many like college students who are like who say that they're so busy, but then like at the same time they don't really want to find the time for their faith. But yeah.
I totally agree with that. Like, yeah, for sure. I think like once you're in college, I think we've all at some point in our lives made that excuse that we're too busy to like really focus on our faith. But yeah, like agreed with what Cleena said. Like it's encouraging to also like for you to want to find that time to like really hold on to your faith and like be rooted in your faith. So like how has your faith helped you when like just like really hard times throughout like your college so far?
I think like something that's really nice is that I have this friend who like is like constantly reminding me that she's like, oh girl, I know you can do this, I'll be praying for you, I know that God will definitely help you through this. And so like I feel like God really like helped me with like that connection, like having that meeting with that friend, like she really me like just like encouraging me and like keep on like telling me that she's gonna pray for me, like, and like that kind of like encourages me to pray for myself, like when I'm facing difficulties, like praying to God and like asking him to like help me, just like guide me throughout the way. I feel like that was something like I guess like that's something that God has like planned for me, like to be able to meet that friend and like have her there as like an encouragement for me to like just keep going, like both in education and in my faith, by being there as like a supporting model. And so I feel that's really helpful because like she was actually like someone who reached out to me and like asked me to join her like for a church service like in the community. And like when I did that at first, like it was really nice. Just that throughout like after that, it's like I guess like the excuse was being saying like I'm too busy or like I have to do my work during this time. Like I guess like that kind of like took it away. But like for sure like she does like tell me like what's going on in their services, and she's like, oh yeah, like this week they're having this like activity, so you wanna go, like come with me and stuff. So like it's really nice to just have her there, like just keep
That's
like inviting
awesome.
me. And so I feel like that was really nice.
Yeah, we always need that friend who keeps us accountable. That's like amazing.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh my goodness, like God is giving me this friend, like who is willing to help me through my
Yeah.
hardship, like of just like trying to build my own faith. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's really nice. And so like I guess it's something we kind of did like before the quarantine, is that like she invited me to her room, and then we kind of like did like a little praise and worship session together.
Oh,
And so that
nice.
was really nice. So like if we had the
Yeah.
chance to do that in the future, like that would be really nice to do it again. So
Yeah, that's like what a blessing that like God has put in your life. Like even like you probably didn't realize it, but like yeah, that's really amazing to hear that like you have that one person who keeps you accountable. Even if like you've given her like so many excuses.
yeah,
But yeah, that's really nice.
for sure.
Well, we talked about everything now. So, well, what else are we gonna talk about?
We can talk about relationships.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
you should
Chamee.
recorded it. You should have recorded it.
We are still recording, by the way.
Yeah,
Well,
we're still
yeah.
recording. But
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So about school, is there anybody there?
What's the tea?
Like not at all?
Not really. Like I'm not really focusing on relationship right now because like I feel I'm more focused with my studies, and so like I guess like but right now I feel like the pressure is like becoming more and more. Or, like there's like pressure on me right now because for my older brother, my parents were like kind of like pressuring him to like get a wife before he even like because like he's pretty antisocial too. Well, I think I consider myself antisocial also. But like I feel like he's more extreme than me on antisocial, and so they're like really pressuring him to like get a life or like get his life together.
Get a life,
or like
get a
just build
wife.
like building his own family like right now. Cause like and then my grandma like she's also like calling me constantly and she was like, "Have you found anybody yet?" Like I'm like you don't have to find any young like I don't want you to find any young guy, like you need to find someone who's like 5 or 10 years older than you. And I'm like, hold up, grandma, like I don't
hold up.
that's never my expectation. I don't want someone who's 5 or 10 years older than me. And so I was like, so does that mean that I should start finding it too? Like I asked them that, and then they're like, you don't have to because you're in school, but like if you want to, then it wouldn't be bad.
So like they're like, so they would be okay if you were dating while
Yeah,
studying
I think
too.
so. Yeah, so.
Okay.
But like right now, like I'm not really interested in like relationships. Maybe I should start getting interested, but I don't know if that's something that can be forced into me, which I don't think so.
At your own time.
Yeah, at my own pace,
At
at my own
God's
time,
pace.
like
God's pace.
God's timing.
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
Exactly.
Johnny, if like somebody decided to like shoot their shot towards you, like would you take it, or would you kind of be like knocked down?
No, I'm
Actually-
sorry, I gotta go study.
like has there any guy been like interested in you in college, or like maybe not in college but like
What about high
I
school?
don't think so. I don't think so either. Like in
Really?
high school, like I guess I spent so much time with those guys from high school, like because we basically share times from like elementary throughout high school.
yeah
And so like I feel like they're more like guy friends than
brothers
like
or
yeah,
guy friends?
possibly like
Bro zone.
yeah. So I'm sorry, but yeah, and so like in college, like it's also hard too, cause like it's like after your first year, you kind of click with your own group, and so for me, like majority of my cliques are girls, and so and like I guess like the ones I hang out with, like they're not really that interested in like relationships too. Or like if they are, then they already been in a relationship since high school, and so I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, so I guess that's how it is.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess like I'll just have to wait until I'm ready or God's time, and so yeah, but as of right now, like, but like your question of like if a guy shoot their shot at me, and then like I say I wouldn't deny it. I'll probably like try it and see, like just I guess like getting comfortable of like just talking to like the opposite gender and see how that goes to being.
Like you're like kind of open to it, but
Yeah,
you're
I'm kind
just
of
not.
open to it.
You're not like actively searching.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm
Yeah,
open to it.
me too.
Do you think you find it difficult to talk to guys because we were raised to kind of stay away from guys and like not really have anything with them, like not even a talk, a friendship, whatever?
I think it would be awkward. But then like I feel like it's also like depends on like I guess like how our personality interacts with each other as well. I feel like that doesn't sound right now that I think about it, but the thing is like they're like throughout colleges, like I made guy friends as well, and like the guy friends that I made, like it's like we kind of click with each other in a way, and so it's like
That's good.
once like I get to know them, like I got used to them and stuff. But then like there was like never one where I got to know them and then like I start to like have like feelings about them like more than a friend. But like yeah, I guess like it depends. So
Okay.
there are guys that I feel like when I first talk to, like we probably can't really connect with each other, and so and then like that kind of like just ends it as like us being acquaintances, then becoming friends, and so yeah, I guess like that's how like many of my interaction has been. It's like just interacting as acquaintances instead of being friends and stuff. So yeah.
You mentioned like you're being in elementary to like high school with your friends. Did you ever like have like problems that like happened in your friendships or in your group of friends? And that like was there ever time like you guys just didn't talk to each other, or were just there like problems between other people, or
Um well, like maybe like not problems like with me personally, but for them like they have problems with like their guy friends, and so there are times when they don't talk or like they just completely like I guess like kind of just like completely like drove away from each other. But I don't think it's ever happened to me. Well, like this might be because like it's in like elementary or like middle school, but like, I had this guy friend, like we used to be like basically around the same height. And so we were always like trying to like say, oh, I'm taller than you and stuff, like those kiddish like kiddish like arguments and stuff. But
I'm
like
taller.
that was like yeah,
We've been-
basically that was just it. And so like it went to a point like where we stopped talking to each other, but then we started talking again as friends, and so it just went on for like that. So yeah.
He's probably like, oh, I'm taller than you. You're not measuring right.
What about like with because you did say like you hung out with more girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever had like any problems with like your girlfriends?
For sure, for sure. It was like clicking with probably like the wrong people or like the wrong group of people, because like we thought, like for me, I thought that they were friends, but then like as like first year goes on, like I guess like our connection was like different, or like our expectation was different from each other, and so with that we kind of like drove away from each other. But I guess like the second half of my first year was where I really found like a group of like friends that I feel really connected to, and so I've been hanging out with them ever since, and I'm hoping to hang out with them like throughout like the rest of my college, and like maybe even like in the future as well. But like I guess like I have also been like reaching out to like different groups of friends too. So like I have friends who like I hang out with basically every day, and then friends who I study with, and so study groups, activity groups like club activities and stuff. Even like I guess like sports activities as well. So like it's like just being able to like go into like different groups and like being able to share different things with them. Like it does really help. And yeah, like there was that problem, but like I feel like that experience really helped me like I guess I grow as like a person and like as a friend and others. So yeah, like I don't really regret it, but like if possible in the future, if we do like decide to become like connected as friends again, then I wouldn't like mind that too. So
You're so mature.
And I was like, I don't think I would. That's not something I would do.
like maybe not as like friends, but like maybe like acquaintance or like acquaintance friends and stuff. So yeah, but like probably like not like friends that like you would hang out with every day and stuff. So yeah.
Are you still connected with your high school friends now, or like did most of them like, or did they also like go to the same college as you?
I only have one friend that was from high school that go to the same college with me. But all of my other friends, like I haven't really been connecting, like keeping in touch with them. Probably because like I guess like it was like throughout my junior and senior year, well mainly my senior year, because the first semester of my senior year in high school, I went and did like full-time PSEO, and then I did half-time the second semester. But like, I feel like that time kind of like give us like different experience in like our last year of high school, and so like because that it was a little bit harder to connect in second semester, and so like, I guess like after high school ended, like some of the friends they said I never want to keep in contact with any of you guys again. Peace out and stuff. And then while others like they do try to keep in contact, but like I feel like for me like I guess like after like in high school I was in that zone of being like, oh, like I won't contact anyone unless they contact me. And so
Yeah.
like I guess like that mindset really like deters me in my relationship with my high school friends. But I do hope to like get into contact with them again, because like I know that a lot of them lives close to me too. It's like one way or another. One funny encounter is that I think it was like a time where we Ohana were at Caribou, and then I have a friend that showed up there with her church friends, and so it was really awkward, but like at the same time, like it was really nice to just see a familiar face again. And so like I think Ka, you were there, right?
I remember. That's why I was like, oh, I remember that day.
Yeah, it was a really funny encounter, and so yeah, like it was really nice to just see her again, and so like I wouldn't mind like keep like reaching out in contact with them, like to see how they're doing and how their life is like, because like I did like keep in contact with another friend, like, and I didn't know that he changed his major, and so I was like, wow, that's interesting, like you're going to that field now, and so yeah.
I think it's like so interesting to like reach out to people who you haven't talked to for a while and then just see how much they've changed over time. And
For
it's like,
sure,
wow,
yeah.
like it's kind of just like, wow, like not like what happened, but like what happened, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I have a guy friend. I think he's like becoming a dental hygienist, which I'm like, what? That's crazy. Like, and like see him in his white coat, I was like, wow, that kind of like matches you. So that's pretty like crazy to see like where different people are at in their life. And I have a high school classmate. She like designs clothes now too, which is like amazing to like see that she's like out there doing things that she likes. And I'm just like, wow, like it's crazy how people change. And, like I didn't know them personally, but then like it's just like wow, like just wow, like you're going places. But yeah, wow, that's it's always like fun to reconnect with high school friends after like you haven't like seen them in a while. Like there's like a lot to talk about because like even like from high school to now, like 5 years has like you've changed a lot in 5 years, you know.
All right, guys. I think that's all the time that we have today with Chamee. Thank you so much, Chamee, for coming on here and being our guest and just talking with us. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and push that notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload. And we do upload every Sunday also. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.